I'm going to give you some examples of how this works and give you a couple diagrams, and maybe this will help you understand more how codependency manifests itself and how it takes a lifetime for us to understand, oh my gosh, something's not working. And we're going to use the diagram of an apple tree. So let's take this apple, and on this tree you will see that we have a tree that depicts our life, okay? And each one of these red circles is an apple. And what we know about apples is that every year apples grow on a tree, and there can be, 25 of them or 600 of them. So each one of these apples is going to represent something different in our life. Let me use a perfect example of one of my clients. When she was young, she had a great family, very strong ethics, grew up Catholic, was very routine about how they did things in their life, strong German background. Daddy died when they were young. So she experienced a death that was devastating for her. Then mom was now a single mom. And so her and her siblings now were latchkey kids. And as she went to school, she started getting bullied. And then she found this wonderful boyfriend, loved him dearly. They started having sex. She gets pregnant. As soon as she gets pregnant, guess what? Boy doesn't want to be with her anymore. So he breaks up with her. What we find with all these devastations is as we shift to adulthood, she now comes into counseling with me, and she starts explaining what's happened after that. And what happens after that for her is she's pregnant, she chooses to abort and has a rebound and marries this man that's much older than her and assures her of some sense of security. And he's showing her some kind of love. And now she's in this new relationship with this older man who now uses her Catholic and her value system against her. So you're never going to divorce me because you would never do that because that's against your values. She wants to divorce, and she finally makes the decision to do that. And the weekend that she makes this decision, he must have some kind of sense, and he literally traps her for 3 days and abuses her, rapes her, and she escapes. And a friend from work helps her. And so now she's escaped, and she moves on with her life. She marries this man, has 3 beautiful boys. And fast forward 25 years, she comes in at a middle-aged woman concerned that I am not any good at relationships. Her husband had died. He had cheated on her. He was also a Vietnam vet that was not available for his emotions either. So neither of them discussed their secrets, which was all this stuff. Her husband never found out that she had been raped for 3 days. And so this brings us to what happens with the apple tree. She says, so what? I got divorced. I'm over it. I don't tell very many people because I'm Catholic and I don't want people to know that. Yeah, my relationships were bad. Yeah, I can still function and work. Yep, I got pregnant. I got raped, but we're never going to talk about that again. So what happens is how she's dealing with this, she's avoiding and denying that it happened and just kind of shoving it under the carpet. And I'm not going to deal with this anymore. I'm just going to move on. The past is in the past. So what she's doing is basically making applesauce out of these apples. So what do we know about an apple tree? After the apples fall and autumn occurs, spring comes, and they grow again. And all of a sudden, these little events in her life surface again. And she has to deal with it. And in her case, it's 35, 40 years later. So what we know is dealing with each one of these things is not working for her. And what we find out is we've got to chop this tree down and get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is emotions. She feels guilty. She's lonely. She doesn't ever want to feel lonely again. She's sad. She feels shame for some of the things that she experienced in her life. She's fearful about experiencing, especially this rape that was so huge, marker moment in her life that she's never discussed with anyone, including her husband, who cheated on her. So she did not trust him. So all of these emotions are the problem, and this is what we have to deal with. So we have to face our past. And by facing the past, we're going to have to experience the pain of the past and deal with these emotions that we're left with. And we cannot do this alone. We just can't. We have to have the help of other people, of your faith, of learning more about what's occurred in your life, which is like taking this course and learning what we need to do something different. And what we know about feelings is most of us just have those happy, sad, mad. And there's hundreds of feelings, and they're all God-given. And they're gifts to us. And they carry influence, they carry control. And if we don't deal with them, they're going to deal with us, much like her past has dealt with her. So make sure that the past has to get dealt with, because if you don't deal with it, it's going to deal with you. There'll be tissues and tears, and it'll be worth it. And all of these emotions need to occur. And we're going to talk about feelings and emotions in future sessions more in depth. And I want you to see this one feeling right here about joy. Joy is so dangerous. It hurts so much that it's a foreboding kind of thing that if I allow myself to feel this, it's going to hurt too much. So I'm not going to go there. And so most of us can't even give ourselves permission to feel joy. How sad is that? Because if I do, something bad's going to happen, and I can't handle it if one more thing happens that's bad. So I'm not even going to go there. We'll talk more about that shortly. And again, we've got to deal with this, or it will deal with us.